Hey guys, Bradley here from Armour Detail Supply, and today we're gonna run you through my personal truck and we're gonna show you a process that basically anybody can do with almost no previous experience to get their car coated and protected for 1 to 2 years with a single bottle of coating, not needing to complicate the process, and get it done in half a day on a weekend. So I do want to put a little disclaimer out there. This video is probably not going to be for you super obsessed level detailers. This is for your general DIY or enthusiast that is really just trying to get their car protected, is happy with the finish of their vehicle currently, and really just trying to add that protection and do it in an efficient manner that they can do on the weekend, not have to have a garage and that sort of thing. So this video is not going to feature any polishing. We are literally just going to be doing a decon wash, a panel prep, and then go into coating all the surfaces. So realistically, if you're going to follow this process, you do want to have a finish on your vehicle that you're currently happy with. If you have swirls, if you have scratches, if you have defects that you're not happy with, you're going to need to add a polishing step, which is totally fine. It's just going to add a little bit of extra time and a little bit of extra materials that you're going to need and tools to be able to get that done, but the process will still remain the same. You just add that polishing step. And I do want to add as well that this process is also going to be the same process you'll follow if you're doing an annual maintenance on a coating, or you have a coating that is starting to die or starting to fail in certain areas and you're wanting to top it up with PHOBIC. This is the process you're going to follow: the decon, the panel prep, and then go right into coating right over that existing coating that you have. So first step of the process is always starting with your wheels. So we are gonna coat these, so we do need to prep them really, really well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with obviously our tire cleaner. That's gonna go onto the tires to really bring out that browning, get a super deep clean on there. We're gonna use our wheel cleaner. The nice thing about our wheel cleaner is it does have that iron removing additive as well. So it's gonna be the perfect prep chemical for the coating and getting that chemical decontamination, as well as the wheel cleaning in preparation for the coating that we're going to install. We've got our clean APC. We're going to have that diluted 4:1, and that is going to get sprayed in all the wheel wells just to give a nice pre-treat, get that dirt and grime that's all up in there from driving starting to break down, so that when you go with the pressure washing, you can just rinse all that dirt and grime right off. And then last step of the process is just having our Decon Soap mixed up into your foam cannon. I like to foam down the wheels. Just gives you a nice soapy base to be able to use your wheel brushes, get in there and just have a really nice lubrication, a little bit of extra cleaning power. So yeah, that's the first step of the process, and we'll get to doing that right now. Alrighty, so the wheels and tires are finished. Now you need to get into the main decon wash. First step of the process is going to be giving a nice rinse down, get all that loose dirt and grime off. If you have a lot of bugs, keep your same clean 4:1 dilution. Pre-spray all those bugs, let it start eating those up, loosening them so that your contact wash is a lot easier. You're gonna foam right over that with your Decon Soap, a couple ounces into the foam cannon. Let that start to emulsify, let that start to break down. Then you're gonna go through with your normal 2-bucket contact wash, Decon Soap in the bucket as well. Obviously start top to bottom, work your way down, leave the rocker panels, front and rear bumpers, things like that for last. Those are gonna be your dirtiest areas, so you don't wanna transfer that dirt onto other panels, and just work through the whole vehicle. And then after that, we're gonna get into our chemical decontamination. Alrighty guys, so your main decon wash is finished. We've rinsed off all the soap, so now we're left with just a bare vehicle with your water on it. So now we need to get into our chemical decontamination, and this is going to be the most important part of the process because we're getting all that contamination off, that would prevent the bonding from the coating, especially because we're not going into a polishing step. This is really where your finish and your prep is going to happen for that coating to bond properly. So we're gonna get into our iron remover. Basically, my process is I have my iron remover in here, just easy for me to dispense this way. I have my clay scrubber. You could use a traditional clay bar. You could use a synthetic clay media like this one, whichever is your preference. Basically, I spray the iron remover over the whole vehicle. I let it sit and react for a couple of minutes, and then I like to foam over it with our Decon Soap again. That gives me just a little bit of extra dwell time, as well as some extra lubrication for me to be able to use the clay media. Luckily, I'm in kind of a shaded day today, so I'll be able to foam this, run over the whole car with the clay media, get all of that contamination off, and then we'll be good to go. So this car specifically does have a lot of contamination. When I feel it, I feel super bumpy. I can even see, spots that didn't come off with the Decon wash that this clay media is gonna need to take care of. So if you're not familiar with what a contaminant is, basically it's stuff that has come from the air, fallout from the trees, tree sap, things like that, have bonded to the clear coat, and they have permanently kind of bonded with that clear coat, and this clay media is what's going to remove that to give you that bare naked surface for you to be able to install the coating later on. So for those of you that don't know, the iron remover, once you spray it on, is going to start reacting with the iron particles and other types of fallout that are on the vehicle. It's going to go from a clear liquid, and those individual particles are going to start to look like they're bleeding. You're going to see sort of a red look, orange look that's going to start bleeding off those particles. That is the chemical going to work, and it is breaking down those individual parts and pieces that it's able to break down. For your mechanical decontamination stage with your clay bar or your synthetic clay media, in this process, really stress the lubrication that you have. Use lots of soap. Make sure you have lots of lubrication. Again, because we are not polishing after this, we need to minimize the amount of marring that could potentially happen with the clay media. Use light pressure, fast movements. This is going to be able to rip the contamination off the paint the easiest way, while also inducing the least amount of marring. When you're going through with the synthetic clay or the clay bar, go ahead and hit all of your paint as well as all your glass to prep the glass as well. Alrighty, so now we have finished the full decontamination process with the mechanical clay and the chemical decon. We gave it a really thorough rinse, rinsing out all of the cracks and crevices really well, really flushing out all that chemical from the iron remover, the Decon soap, and everything else that we used. Because right now we're gonna go into the drying process, but I did wanna show you, now that we've finished our decon process, you're basically left with, if this was a car that wasn't coated before and you're doing an annual maintenance or something, but I'm left with basically a car that has no protection on it. And you can see by when I spray water on it, it's just completely flat on the surface. When I feel it, it is baby smooth. There's no contamination. So we are set and ready to go into the drying process. I am gonna pull it inside right now because it is about to start raining. So we can't finish this one fully outside, but we're gonna get it pulled inside, dry it up, and then get into the coating application and the coating prep. Now for the drying process, obviously go in with your towels because it's going to be really hard to blow dry all of this just standing water off. However, really go through with either an air compressor or some sort of blower, get all the water out of the cracks and crevices. That way when we go into coating, we're not dealing with water coming out of those cracks and crevices and possibly ruining the coating install. Alrighty, so now we are getting to the nitty-gritty fun part, getting into the final prep for the coating as well as the coating application. So I want to go over obviously what you need and why we're picking what we're picking. So first off, you're going to need your panel prep. this is gonna be your solution to do your final preparation of the surface, get all the surface oils off, and really get a great bonding surface for the coating on all of the different surfaces, glass, paint, plastics, things of that nature. With that, we're gonna be using our dedicated panel prep towels. These are a great towel to use for the panel prep, obviously matching, goes along with the whole theme, super absorbent and super safe, and will pick up a lot of product. And then going into the coating, so you can pick really whatever different coating you like at this point. For me, we're picking PHOBIC. The reason for PHOBIC is because it's our only coating where you get this, this amount of product. This is a 90 ml bottle. You're getting usually 3 times the amount of our standard, paint coating bottles. So you're able to buy one bottle and you're able to use that on the whole car. The nice thing about PHOBIC is it's super versatile. So you can use it on the paint, we can use it on the glass, we can use it on all the plastic trim, we can use it on the, any of the rubber surfaces, we can use it on the wheels, and basically use this on the whole car. And you have enough product in here to not worry about, not having enough product or running out. If you were to do this, combining other coatings that we have, where there's one of our paint coatings, then you'd really need our glass coating. Then then you'd need to get into like our wheel coating to do that properly. And you've got 3 different bottles of coating. It gets really expensive at that point. So for this very simple, easy process, PHOBIC is the great pick because again, versatile, gives you enough product. You'll probably go through half, maybe a little bit more of this bottle for doing this whole application. So that's why the pick for PHOBIC there. And going along with that too, it's just one of our easiest coatings to use. So if you're doing this, outside, or it's your first time kind of doing this sort of process, PHOBIC is a great one to start out with. You'll get really great durability still, really great chemical resistance, but just a really simple and easy experience. It is a spray coating and I am going to be spraying it. So I have just a couple of our spray nozzles that come inside the box. And then PHOBIC does not come with applicators, so you do need to buy those separately. You can apply this with a towel, but my preferred method is to use these no soaks, the round ones, because you can fit your hand in them. Just keep it on your hand and it's just really easy to go through the whole application process with those and PHOBIC. So we're gonna get into right now doing the panel prep, and then we'll get into doing the coating process. So for the panel prep stage, how to use this is basically taking your bottle, doing a nice light mist on each panel, work one panel at a time, allow it to sit and kind of emulsify and break down any dirt, grease, grime that might still be there, oils and things like that nature. And then you just basically go in with your panel prep towel, spread it around, picking up all of that solution that it picked up off the surface, wiping down the whole panel. This doesn't need to be a super in-depth, crazy process. Then just flip over your towel to the nice, fresh, dry side and go in and buff it to a perfect streak-free finish. And you'll feel it starts to get really tacky, really sticky, because this paint is now bare, naked clear coat that the coating can bond to. So the panel prep stage is all finished, and now we're ready to get into the actual coating application. First step, glove up, stay safe. I've got our PHOBIC spray coating with the sprayer dropped inside, and I have our nice Rag Company round no soak applicator. Again, these ones are super nice for the PHOBIC because I don't have to hold it, so I can just really easily go ahead and install. So you're going to start by working sections of a panel at a time. So we're going to start by working about a 2x2 or 3x3 area. Then from there you can work up to larger sections if you have the flash time, but you're going to start by loading up your applicator with anywhere from 10 to 15 sprays. So once you've got it applied to your applicator, again, you're gonna work just like nice 2x2, 3x3 sections. So I'm just gonna work this half the fender for now. And there's no right or wrong way to apply PHOBIC. Your main goal is to just get it onto the surface. This nice round applicator makes it super, super easy. Just spread it around. No need to go, crazy with any different movements. If you wanna go front to back, you can. If you wanna go up and down, you wanna do circular motions, whatever works to be able to get the coating onto the surface, Just make sure you got all your areas covered. Is totally fine. And then from there, I like to just keep my applicator on my hand the whole time. I'll just put down the bottle. I'll grab my removal towel. For me, I like just using one plush removal towel for PHOBIC, and I will go through, wipe off the first layer with one side, flip the towel over, and do a second final buff with the other side of the towel. And this, for me, is the most efficient process, and I'm never putting this applicator down, and you can work really fast through the car. If you are newer into applying coatings or this is your first time, you may want to just have two of these towels handy and go over with two different towels just to be sure you're not leaving any high spots or streaks or anything. But PHOBIC is so easy to remove that you really only need one towel and just flip it over to get a nice application experience, and just flip this over as you go and have a nice clean fresh side as you're working through the vehicle. You may need two of these towels as you swap through the sides and they get loaded up with coating, but that's totally fine. It's still just super easy to remove. So the only thing that you can do wrong with PHOBIC, there's two different things that you can mess up with PHOBIC. One of them is not applying enough coating, and really what you want to see when you're applying is you really want to be able to see it go on, and you want to be able to see it flashing, and if you could see where I can move that coating around. That's the amount that you want to have on the surface. If you're not really seeing it go on and you can't see that layer left behind, then just load up with a couple more sprays and then keep on going. The other thing is allowing it to flash too long. Again, this is a spray coating that's meant to be able to work really fast and flash really fast so that it's basically able to be wiped off instantly. So if you leave it too long, you can run into some streaking issues where the coating has been left too long on the surface, especially if you're working in really hot, humid environments. But that's also the nice thing about PHOBIC, because you can just work really fast, do small areas, wipe it off almost instantly, and you'll get around the car in a super efficient and super easy manner. So those are really the only things. Just make sure you have enough coating on the surface, wipe it off pretty quickly, and you will be good to go. And you'll feel it super, super slick and instantly boost that gloss and slickness. So again, same thing as the paintwork, same process is going to apply to coat your glass. Again, nice thing about PHOBIC, it can go on all of your different surfaces. So same process, load up a couple sprays. I'm going to work half this windshield at a time. Again, no right or wrong way to apply this. You really just want to get it on the surface and make sure you have enough coating applied so that it can flash properly. I'm going to coat half this windshield. And I've got my nice removable towel here. I'm just going to flip it over to a nice fresh side. And go ahead and buff that right off. And you can see just that first wipe, almost no haze, almost removes instantly with the first wipe. That is the power of PHOBIC and how easy it is to install. This second removal is just to make sure that you're all good. And then on all your glass, one layer is totally fine on all your side and rear glass. You're gonna get a year or two out of that. For windshields with PHOBIC, just like our regular glass coating, I do recommend doing multiple layers. So I'll go right back over right now and I will apply a second layer. Even though there's no cure time, PHOBIC will still layer because it is a very fast curing, fast flashing coating. You can layer that right away and it'll give you that extra durability against these bad boys right here, all that wiper abrasion. It'll give you, some extra resistance against that. Now, PHOBIC on glass, I wouldn't expect miracles with. It is a very good coating on glass, especially for, one that can be used everywhere. We generally see about 6 to 8 months on glass, maybe more. It really depends on, how often you're using your wipers and things of that nature. But for a coating that can be basically used everywhere, PHOBIC is amazing on glass. You'll you'll see that water start to evacuate on the windshield at 35, 40 miles an hour, super fast beating and sheeting properties, and just a really nice experience. Makes the glass super slick as well. So again, nice thing about PHOBIC, extreme versatility. While you're going through and applying to your painted surfaces, if there's any plastics that are adjacent to it, go right over those as well. It'll give a nice little darkening effect and will protect those plastics, make them hydrophobic, and make them just look really, really good. So again, just basically put PHOBIC on every surface of the car on the exterior. With PHOBIC, if you apply it nice and even, you really don't even have to remove it from the plastic. It will flash off and just leave a really nice finish. But if you like, or you've kind of applied it heavy, or you see a little bit of streaking, just go over it really lightly with a microfiber towel just to level that off and really just level out that finish for the plastic. And again, you'll get that nice, easy protection, and just makes it easy. Again, applying the same coating to everything, just slather it on every surface of the car, and it just makes a really easy, simple process. So another surface of the vehicle that PHOBIC's good on, wheels. Now, we aren't gonna go crazy pulling these wheels off, because I don't think if you're trying to do this in half a day, that's even feasible. But we clean the wheels really well. We panel prep them so we can apply the coating to at least the wheel face, and we can make it just easier to clean up the wheel face for us in the future. So I did switch applicators because obviously these are a little bit of an intricate wheel. That other one is a little too big to get in here. You could use just a microfiber towel by hand, or you could use these little mini applicators as well. And again, you're just gonna spray some coating on there and then apply it to the wheel. You can work in small sections, but again, just make sure you're getting enough coating on there that you're able to see it go on the surface, get it all into the intricate little areas of the wheels. I would probably work about a quarter of a wheel at a time, just to kind of stay organized. Work off of a certain area, whether it's the way it's facing or from the valve stem, so you stay organized on where you have been. But basically just get that coating all laid down in those individual areas. These small applicators make it really easy to get in there. And then from there, you can take your wipe off towel and level out that coating. And again, you're gonna get all those same benefits as the paint, the glass, and the plastics on the wheels, make them easier to clean for your next washing. And you'll probably get anywhere from 6 to 12 months out of this coating on your wheels, which is still a really great durability, possibly more depending on how much the car is driven and what kind of chemicals you're using to maintain. So if you followed our video to a T and applied PHOBIC like we did to this truck, there's a couple things you want to do. Keep it dry for 4 hours. So if you're working outside, try to time it around those summertime rainstorms, and do not wash it for 24 hours to allow that coating to fully cure. So I hope you guys had an enjoyable experience and you were able to coat your car in under half a day on the weekend, not destroying your family time. So as always, happy detailing, and thank you guys for watching.